Many of you have probably experienced that when you want to improve your text, it can be hard to spot your mistakes or things that could be improved. And this goes for both grammar and vocabulary. Many students, they try to read through their text many times to see if they can spot their mistakes, but there are more efficient ways to work with this, and there are tools that can help. Online, for example, there are several text analysis tools, and in this video I want to show you one of them and how you can use this in combination with the search function in Word, which is a tool, by the way, that you really should learn to use actively if you don't do this already. So let's look at the text analysis tool. The first thing I want to do is I want to take my text that I've written about football and I want to copy it. So I mark it and I copy. And then I go to Textalyser, which is a text analysis tool. And I paste my text in here. So you can see that it's over here. And then I click on Analyze the text. Now, what this gives me is a lot of information about my text. Generally, a lot of this can be complicated and lexical density. What is that? The most useful tool here is if you scroll down, you get to what is called frequency and top words. And I really usually tell my students to ignore the rest here. A lot of students get hung up on this total word count, that it doesn't match how many words they had in their original text. And there are several reasons for this. For example, here you see that the default is that it doesn't count words with less than 3 characters, for example. So or an and to and so on are not counted. So just ignore that and scroll down to frequency and top words. So for my text about football, you see that I've used the word football 18 times in my text, which is a lot. So that really tells me that I should go back to my text and replace football several places. Other words that I can see that I've used a lot are teams, played, and play. Always, friends, time, lot, never, going. So how many times is too much to use a word? And sometimes students will say, well, I've only used it 5 times, so that's okay, right? I've written a text of 800 words, so 5 times is not that much. And I would say it depends on where in the text you use them. So for example, if you use the word time 5 times in your text and they're all in the same paragraph, it's a problem. If it's spread out across your text, maybe not so much. So you really need to go back to Word and use the search function here to check this out. So then I go back to my text and I use the search function. You see that I've added it to my quick access toolbar. Otherwise, you find it here, or you can use Control B. And for example, now you see the last word that I searched for was get, but now I want to see football. And you see, same as Textalyser, the result it gives me is I've used it 18 times. And here it's highlighted in the text, so I can see where is it that I need to replace it. For example, here I can see in my introduction, I've used it 5 times. Now that makes my language repetitive, right? So I need to figure out, can I say the sport? Can I say it? Can I sometimes maybe drop it? Can I restructure my sentences to avoid saying football, football, football over and over again? If I go back to Textalyser, I see team, so I can check that out in my text as well. And here you see that there's several paragraphs where I haven't used team, but here 2 times, quite near each other. So that, and then now I see even here in this paragraph I've used it 4 times. Here I've just used it 2 times. So again, it depends on whether a word is overused or not, depends on how often I use it, but also if it's in the same paragraph. So if I said that team is used 8 times, but it's spread out in the text, but here I see I used it fairly close to each other, so maybe I have to replace team here in one of these sentences or restructure my sentences or so on. So this is how you can use Textalyser together with the search function in Word to find your most repeated words. In addition, I can use the search function to search for what I know are lexical teddy bears. Now, since this is a text about football, maybe I've used big, which I know is a word that I should try to avoid. Aha, I've only used it twice, but again, very close to each other. Big part, big part. I've used the same expression, big part of, right after each other. Okay, I need to go back here and fix this. Other expressions, good maybe, I've used that one. Well, I've only used it once. naturally good. Okay, so I'll leave that. Let's say other words that I might have used. Oh, fun, because I talk about football, something I find fun, right? You see I've used it 3 places. Played it because it's fun. Okay, maybe I could use another word there, inspiring or something like that. And fun. Here again, I've used it in the same paragraph. Have a lot of fun. Maybe I can say we enjoy each other's company, or find alternative expressions. So you can also use the search function to just search for words that you have a tendency to repeat. For example, a verb such as get is one that is often overused. Now you see here, actually, this time it's only one place that I've used get, because here it's like together, forget, together. So that's fine. I haven't overused that word in my text. But again, look at previous feedback, see which words you tend to overuse, and use the search function to replace them. Now, what I hope you see is that using this online text analysis tools in combination with the search function can really help you identify your problem areas more than just reading through the text over and over again. And you can find words that you repeat and simple basic words, also called lexical teddy bears, that you need to replace. The next step is to improve this, and then you need to use different strategies and different types of dictionaries. So check out the resources on how to replace lexical teddy bears on this page as well.